What's the worst that could happen? I'm sure you guys have all heard that saying, right? Well, today I want to talk to you about what's the worst that can happen and how you can use this phrase and this thought process to really get over some of these stumbling blocks that you've come across along the way. Hey everybody, Scotty Jones here from Be a Real Estate Savage. And today I do want to talk to you about what's the worst that could happen and playing out worst case scenarios and how they can really help you get over, like I said, some of these stumbling blocks along the way. So, what's the worst that could happen? I use this process a lot. I before I do something, I always say to myself, well, what's the worst that could happen? Whether it's something that positive that I want to do or something that I might be questioning. But I think, okay, what's the worst that could happen? For instance, calling expired listings. A lot of us don't really love calling expired listings. We're nervous, we're afraid, we don't know what to say, blah, blah, blah. So if you sit back and say, all right, well, I call this expired listing. What's the worst that can happen? Think about it for a second. The worst thing that can happen is they say no, or they say, please stop calling me, or they're rude, or they give you attitude. But at the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen is you get a no, and you move on with your day and you go on to your next activity. What's the worst thing that can happen if you put yourself out there on video? I know the big excuse to not do video is I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound on video. Well, guess what? You look and sound on video exactly like you do in real life. So what's the worst that can happen if you put yourself out there? More people see you. What's the best case scenario if you put yourself out there a little bit more? More people see you. You get a listing. You get a new client. You've got some more engagement on your social media page. You become more of an expert. Your brand becomes bigger. So the positive outweighs the negative big time. Conversely, if there's something that you're thinking about doing that you're kind of on the fence about, that let's say showing a vacant property to a brand new client that you've never met before, that you haven't pre-qualified, you have no information on, but they just really want to get in to see this property. Well, what's the worst that can happen there? That's a different situation. That's something that we really don't like to think about, but it could end in something really, really bad. So you probably shouldn't do it in that scenario. So like I said, it kind of works both ways. It helps you get over the fence on some of these things, and it also helps you say, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should take a couple steps back and really think about what I'm about to do here. Either way, I truly believe that thinking about the worst case scenario will help in your business, in your life, in many different ways, because most of the time, the worst case scenario really isn't that bad. And if it is that bad, it's going to prevent you from doing something that you probably shouldn't be doing anyway. Well, that's it for today. I hope you are all enjoying this beautiful 60-degree day on New England in January, which is pretty much unheard of. Maybe that Al Gore guy had something right when he was talking about global warming. But anyway, Scotty Jones signing off from Be a Real Estate Savage. If you enjoyed this, leave me a comment below. Give me a like, please. If you haven't followed my page yet, I'd really appreciate that. And I will talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend, everybody, and hope you sell some houses. Bye-bye.